Bro, what the hell is going on? This is insane. Today's been wild, man. Freaking Tears of the Kingdom gameplay, Beyblade info, Bakugan stuff. What is happening? Today's been a good day, and also it is really warm out. It's wild. Like, this is like New York summer weather at this stage, man. It's insane. It's like 80, over 80 out, and it's just, yeah. So, it's time to talk. Dude, I am so excited to get this set up. And yeah, so first things first, of course, big build up. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Kimbo here. And it's time for an epic discussion video. So, first thing, the first time I've had a little, I've actually used the face cam and shown off the studio in a bit, but I've been doing a lot of decorating. Got the hanging art installation. It's truly looking like an art gallery in here too, because that's one thing I always wanted with this too, but also it tells a story big time. And just how full it is, man, and how much paint's been added to the canvas and everything. It's hitting in the heart big time. It's like I feel home. It feels like a dream just area. Like I always had an idea for like a dream studio one day, and it basically being at that point. And it shows, man, like everything even hanging up and such. I added crystals to up like the good auras and everything. The the vibrant, bright, uplifting auras of being in here and everything, and just all the color and everything. It's a big time melting pot. Everything coming together, like all the colors coming together, full rainbow. You already know, man. Like you'll probably even see the differences on the walls, obviously in the ceiling and everything. But yeah, it's really coming together and just so wild. But we got to get into one of many discussion slash review videos and everything. But this is a discussion video in this case. It's a discussion on Beyblade X. So we gotta talk about it, man. Gen 4 of Beyblade, which is set to come out this summer. Summer 2023. My guess is probably July. That'll probably be when they drop it and such. So even my birthday month, we're gonna be fresh in like Beyblade X territory with everything, dude. It's gonna be wild. I wonder if they're gonna start this off with like how they did with the previous series before this, because we started off with like Classic Gen started with Spin Dragoon, and then you had the PHW Beyblades for Metal Fight, and then you had the single layer bays for Burst. But none of them they had the manga for them and started releasing the bays and everything, and they're basically like the prototype beginning part of that generation. Just showing off the gimmicks and everything. You know what I mean? Like and then we see all the bays evolve from that point. And then usually it's like the second gen that they put out, being where they actually start dropping like the bays and everything. You know what I mean? So like with Metal Fight, we had the hybrid system after the PHW bays all got released. The hybrid wheel system is where we saw season one. It's the same case for Burst with the single layer bays, because then the dual layer bays were actually the first season, and that's where we saw Vault and Shu and the other characters really coming in. But they did have the manga for like the first season ones, but that's besides the point. You already know. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like maybe it starts off with like this first season of Beyblade X being the same sort of way with the manga and everything. They have like a manga for it. We see some characters like raw, like renders and such of the characters and stuff with it. And then whatever the second season that we get, or the second kind of, second generation of the season. So basically, like season two, Beyblade wise of X, that might be where we get the actual like series. So we might see the series maybe come out 2024, and that's where you see this series actually starting to drop. Maybe not. Maybe TT's just like, you know what, we're just gonna get right into it, have characters, have a show and everything. They haven't done that before. That's never been like a pattern they've done. But if so, I mean, all here for it. Excited to see what this new gen's gonna bring. But the big time discussion with this thing is like, I guess Koro dropped and basically showed the silhouette of a bay and talking about it being an explosive summer. So they always have like the pun with whatever generations coming in. Like we saw with Burst. I can't remember the one for Metal Fight, but with the beginning of Burst, it was like Project B, and then ended up being Burst. And then we see the Burst system and everything starting to drop literally months after. Yeah, dude, it's insane. I was in college. Oh my god, dude. Just thinking the beginning of Burst, even just crap, man. Even doing the Metal Fight, it's insane, man. It's insane. Beyblade has evolved a lot, and that's for sure. But with Beyblade X, I think it being the actual name, like Beyblade Explosion, maybe it stands for. So I wonder how they're gonna make this even more innovative than Burst. You know, like paying homage to each series. I think well, big time credit and props to the boy Zanke. He did the research on this. You already know Zanke being one of the goats for sure. But yeah, I think with it he said that the revenue for like the plastic gem was like 160 million units sold, and then for Metal Fight it was 190 million, but then like 170 million for Burst. So if you go technically number wise, if that's off the numbers, you know that means just how many bays were actually sold with that. Um, so it'll be technically bay wise, Metal Fight being the most sold series ever, I guess. Like quality wise, you know, I mean like number wise, quantity wise. But like revenue wise, Burst bays were definitely more expensive than Metal Fight Beyblade bays. So overall, even with that 170, like it's the most sold Beyblade series ever. It shows because it's gone on so much longer than all the other previous series. Like how he said, you know, each series has gotten bigger as they've grown and such. And Burst being definitely the most successful. It went on for 7 seasons. You know, 6 series for the 6 seasons for the actual show under TT, 7 under, of course, Hasbro because Quad Strike will be doing reactions on that as well soon. But yeah, man, overall Burst being just the most sold Beyblade series ever, and the saying it's gonna be an explosive summer, and I'm just wondering how are they gonna even be more innovative than Burst? Like maybe it's a I don't know. Like just think about it. It's obviously gonna be like a new gen and everything, but each gen definitely gets inspiration and evolves and grows based off the previous one. So maybe they just figure out like all the gimmicks, like Bay starting off having a bit more weight, like not maybe not so much Metal Fight level, but like more weight than how Burst started off. You know what I mean? Because we had the single layers were totally plastic. Same thing with dual layers, and then the God bays, and it wasn't until Cho Z where we started getting metal in the bays and stuff. You know, more of like a slow build to adding the metal and everything. As for Metal Fight, each season the bays just getting heavier. Um, more crazy gimmicks with them, but they also paid homage to even like how the Plastic Gen had gimmicks, and just evolving on them and such, and having their own unique gimmicks that they bring in. But still, think about it like maybe the bays having a bit more weight, like how Metal Fight bays were. So like above like the weight of like how Plastic Gen or Burst started, bays being a bit heavier, like how Metal Fight started off, but then implementing like maybe a burst gimmick somehow, some way. They implement it where it's like a burst. Because if you think Beyblade X, if it is explosion, like explode, pieces, shrapnel. Like, like even more so, maybe they just figure out like a new system for it. You know what'd be crazy? If like this new system had some kind of gimmick where it has like what's the best way of saying this? The eclipse effect. Or the Super King effect. I'll say that. Yeah. Super King Helios, Super King Hyperion, Dual Eclipse, these types of bays where you could take parts, individual parts, put them together, and then it switches up the chemistry and the overall performance of the layer. Like you even see that with Super King. Y'all have seen me get all the different versions and test them out to see where they stand on that totem pole. And they're all up there, but they're all so unique, man. Just switching up the parts, that itself switches up so much about a bay's like attributes, its aspects, and everything. And it's wild, dude. Even the battles I'm gonna do with like finishing with Super King Lucifer. Like it's got 4 different modes with it, and they all act so differently. Because some being focused more on attack, still having that bearing, and that's just different combos with that. What if they were to do this for Beyblade X? You know, like I said, this is before anything comes out or such. I could be totally wrong with this, but it's always nice to speculate, you know, and just be like, what if it goes down this way? But like they have it where that gimmick is where you could put 2 different parts together, like the layer or whatever with it, whatever this gimmick is, and then they give you points depending on how much you do. So like even with the battles, it could be like, oh hey, somehow, some way, it manages to like snap off, like not break, snap off. You know what I mean? Like a part of it, like break off or something like that, and then maybe that counts for a certain amount of points. And then if you manage to make the entire thing just boom, then that being more points, like how it was for a burst, but even more evolved than a burst in that aspect because you got the bay like breaking down as it battles, but then like having a big time burst or something like that, and then you still have like the spin finish. You still got the way of winning with the KO or such. Like I think that would be pretty cool. Like that would be another element. Like if you get like a certain piece to come off of it, you get like 1 point. If you manage to get a KO with it, it's like like 1 point for that. Same thing, spin finish. But then if you get it to actually like explode, maybe not called burst, but like explode into all the pieces, maybe it's like 3 points or something like that. or like maybe they stick with like the 2 points, like how it is for burst or something like that. You know what I mean? Like if it explodes to where it bursts like a normal bay and like things separate, it's 2 points. But then if you make it like explode in even more pieces, because you know the gimmick I was talking about with like the different layers and everything. If it did that, that being 3 points, that being the true explosion, not like more than a burst, but totally just boom. Like that would be wild. I mean, that would be a lot of parts going everywhere too. That would just be like a crazy idea for like, you know, like a system or something. Like it's about just speculating for it, man. You know, but um, yeah. If not, then they just figure out a way to like encompass like the way to Metal Fight Bays, like even how they had the designs for like Plastic Gen, like inspiration from that. Maybe for the characters, or maybe how they did the battles and such with the first season and everything. Because like how, or like the first era, because you know how it is for the show. I still gotta watch through the show big time for like Plastic Gen. Um, but the way they even went about the story and everything with it being different than how they went through with the story with Metal Flight, with Jenga and Kyoya and everybody. Different than how they did with Burst, with Vault and Shu and everybody, you know? But, um, yeah, man. I'm just excited to see how it'll go, man. But yeah, or even if they have it, maybe where the pieces don't like break off or anything, they still have that like customization with it, you know, like how Super King is and, you know, Duo, where you can put them together and that'll switch it up. But yeah, it won't just like be on that extreme level. Maybe there's some way Bays can still maybe burst with it, but I guess we'll see, man. Regardless, I'm really excited to see how it's gonna turn out. I wonder if they're gonna have any like digital aspects with it. So what I mean by this, like a gimmick that we saw during like, well, you know, even what they learned during like the G series and everything, with like the rev up, like the motor bays, like the wind up bays and everything. You know, like with the turbines and such, or how they did with even like with Burst, how they had like ignition and like ignition dash and of course hybrid, like the electronic drivers, implementing like technology with it to where the bays perform differently, implementing more of those types of drivers and such, you know, like using high advanced like tech with it as well, because that's a gimmick that I honestly thought was definitely ahead of its time, like and seeing that in GT, like I'm surprised we didn't get any more of that in like DB or something, you know. And you know, speaking of that, I just it's how it goes. Like even when I make videos and such, I just get inspiration for things, and I think I just got inspired to do something. So you'll see it in the future, you know. But if they did more electronic drivers like that, but then they master it to where like they can have some that go around for attack, some are meant to stay in one spot for defense, you know, just things like that. Because that was a really cool concept, and it's like it definitely felt ahead of its time, and that we only got really two drivers that are like that, that being like hybrid and ignition, you know. Maybe playing on that a bit more. But yeah, man. Regardless, I am really hyped to see what all is gonna be coming for Beyblade X. If it does drop in like July, that would mean like what, maybe next month's Koro Koro, if not the month after, getting like a teaser what the Bay is. You know, like maybe next month. Like they showed a silhouette with this one, so maybe next month they might show off like the Bay, like a part of the Bay itself, not the complete Bay or the system or anything, like just part of it. So like obviously speculate big time, and then in June, that being where it's like okay, if it does drop in July, Beyblade X, you already know. Talk about it. Dude, I'm so hyped about this, man. Beyblade X, even the name, just a badass name with it too. So I'm really excited for this next gen. Let me know like some gimmicks or such that you guys would want to see in the comments down below. Yeah, I'm really hyped for this summer, dude. This summer is gonna be something special because it's gonna be like, yeah, the beginning of Beyblade X and just the vibes overall with it. Oh my gosh, man! This year in general, 2023, like just wild one. It's already one that stands out big time. Like even just today, all the news and everything that's dropped, or like just the transition between series, like how it is for Beyblade and also for like Bakugan, even like gaming, like Zelda, dude. Oh my god, dude, come on. I'm hyped. I'm hyped, and it's starting to get warmer too, man. Yeah, I think we're supposed to have a storm maybe like next week. It's gonna get cold again, but at least a few days where it's actually nice. And I got a lot planned that includes telling a little bit more of my own personal story. You already know with the skits. But yeah, guys, whatever you'd like be interested in seeing and such with Beyblade X and things going forward, let me know in the comments. Definitely intrigued to see like your guys' creativity and your ideas with things, because I know regardless, like, it's gonna be really innovative, hyping it up big time with that. I'm just like, Burst was just so awesome, like with the gimmick and everything coming in with it, and even to the point where like DBBU Bays, they're in a league of their own. They play no games and they put in that work, man. Like, I know like cross-gen battles are obviously dangerous to do and such, you know, because just the difference in weight of the bays and everything. But like DB and BU can hang with the other gens like Metal Flight and Plastic Gen. Yeah, well you already know like Plastic, you know, all having their big time strengths. I just be scared of doing cross-gen battles because you don't want any bay damage, you know. But yeah, maybe in the future might have some, depending on just like the strength of events. You know, you'll see what I mean. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this epic discussion video. Y'all hyped for Beyblade X? I know I am for sure, and I guess we'll see in the summer what exactly we're gonna be getting and what this new series entails. Season 4, Gen 4, upon us. Gen 4, Season 1, if you will. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's gonna do it. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. So yeah, guys, till next time, it's your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Till then, stay awesome and go shoot. I'm up out of here.